You are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. The Philadelphia Eagles lost the Super Bowl because they suck. The Philadelphia Eagles will always suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all this evening going to spend a little bit of time with me? I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Well, if there's anybody going to spend any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. That means so much to me. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw in the chat box. I try to check on the chat box every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. Plus, instead of me just like rattling on and on and on for like 30 minutes. So sometimes it's nice to talk to somebody. So please feel free, fire away, throw in the chat box. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. There's a top link in the description box. It takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. Okay, so if anybody out there wants to help support my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. If you're not, please hit go down below. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, next time I go live and put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I can use all the support I can get. Thank you. And then finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links. Okay, the top Facebook links takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants Agree. And I say this all the time in every video. My YouTube channel, my Facebook group, and the Facebook page, which I'll talk about in a minute, is all called pretty much New York Giants Gridiron. Okay, that way a moron like me, I can remember. It's not like what's my channel called, what's the group called, what's the page. It's all the same thing, right? But right now we have over 2,900 members in the group. We're closing in on 3,000. Okay, and it's a 7-day week thing. Right, I put stuff in here 7 days a week, right? Whether it's a video, a post, a picture, something making fun of the Cowboys, something making fun of the Eagles, which I love doing. That's my favorite, making fun of the Eagles. There's something here shows a picture of all the Giants championship. They got 8 championships, which they won: 27, 34, 38, 56, 86, 97, 11. They got the Super Bowl rings, and they won 4 championships prior to the Super Bowl era. You got a picture of that. There are eight rings that they won. There's all kinds of stuff I got in here. I actually had this one. It was the Sports Illustrated spectacular. We got Mark Bavaro on the front of it. He's not posing, but he's holding up his jersey with his shoulder pads over his shoulder. And he's standing there. It's a cool cover. Something I just found from somebody else shared this on Facebook as well. It's a little short video clip here of the Giants in their first Super Bowl that they won when they beat the Broncos 39-20. So I put stuff in here every day. I put a ton of stuff in here all the time. And if you become a member of the group, not only do I put stuff in here too, but the other members put stuff in here as well too. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants stuff in there going in there every day. Then also, the second Facebook link, okay, takes you to my Facebook page, okay? But it's a page, okay? Once again, it's called the New York Giants Agree. I said that way I don't forget, okay? But I'm the administrator. I'm the only one to put stuff in the page, but it's the same thing. Okay. I try to put stuff in there all the time, 7 days a week, and I try to get, if I can, I go up to about 10 things a day. Sometimes in the off season, it's a little difficult, when you're kind of waiting for stuff to happen. During regular season, when there's stuff going on, games are being played and all this stuff and everything, it's easy to put at least 10 different things in here every day. What are we at? We're over 1,000 people who like the page, and we're over 4,300 people who are following the page. So the page is really, really doing good. It's really taking off. I'm over 4,300 people who follow it, and I started the group like probably 4, 5, 6 months before I started this page. So, I mean, this page is really taking off. It's really, really doing good. But I said it's the same thing. You know, I put a ton of stuff in here every day, whether it's a video, a post, a picture, whatever. Okay, every day. And I said, so if you go to the page and you like it and you follow and you go to the group and you become a member, between the two of them, okay, you get a ton of New York Giants stuff every day, right? As I say in every video, if you're not satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right, we're all said and done. What might the Giants do? Okay, I'm trying to do like a video, like I guess basically pretty much of like all the positional groups. I did like the quarterbacks, you know, maybe running backs with Saquon, you know. So I'm trying to hit all the positional groups. Now I'm trying to like do the defensive line / and the edge rushers. Okay, what might the Giants do? All right, you know, that's not necessarily like in the first round. Although, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Okay, if they fall in love with somebody, just saying. Okay, but you know, with one of their 10 picks, right? Don't be surprised if they, you know, don't take, you know, one or two. I mean, like maybe interior defensive lineman and an edge rusher. Don't be surprised at all. And especially if they want to be a little earlier, don't be surprised about either. Because if you look back, all right, like when, like if you go back to Buffalo, okay, what Buffalo had been doing quite a bit. If you go back from like 2016, okay, until 2021, this past season, 2022, they didn't take. I'm just going the first 3 rounds. Actually, they didn't. Looks like they didn't even take one at all. A defensive tackle or edge rusher didn't take one at all. But you go from 2016, okay, to 2021. All right, the Buffalo Bills, okay, took, I think it was like 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they took 7 in the first 3 rounds of the draft. They took 7 between defensive, you know, ends / edge rushers and defensive tackles. They took 7 of them in the first 3 rounds in those 6 drafts. Okay, 2017 they didn't. Actually, once again, 2017 they didn't. They only had 6 picks, but 2017 they didn't take any at all either. Okay, so you got 2022 and 2017. They didn't take an end / edge rusher or defensive tackle at all, period. But if you go to these other drafts, 2016 on, you know, to 2021, you know, I'm just going the first 3. I didn't even bother looking at all the other. You know, it looks like in 2019 they took one guy in the 7th round. You know, I didn't even look. I just know they take them early. Right. And the reason why you take them early is because, you know, obviously the talent is better. Now, does that mean that, you know, if you draft somebody in the 6th round, he's going to be an absolute total bust? Oh, no, absolutely not. But, okay, you know, chances are, you know, if you draft and all of that and you get your information correct and everything, you know, you drafted better talent, obviously, earlier on, okay, and hopefully they work out. But, I mean, in 2021, their first 2 picks, Basham and Rousseau. First round, it took Rousseau. Then it took Basham in the 2nd round, right? First 2 picks with defensive linemen, okay? They didn't take any more of that. But, I mean, first 2 picks, defensive linemen for the Bills in – yeah, this guy, obviously, this is where Shane came from, right? So it was in 2021. 2020, they took Epinenza. I believe that's AJ Epinenza, defensive end, okay, from Iowa. Okay. It took him, they didn't have a 1st round pick. Okay. But so in the 2nd round, let's see, they didn't take any other defensive lineman or whatever, the rest of that draft. But in 2020, their first pick that they had, they traded away their 1st round pick. Okay. But they took a defensive end with their first pick, which was in the 2nd round. They took one. Okay. So basically in 2021 and in 2020, their first two picks in 2021 and their first pick in 2020 with defensive linemen. Okay. You go to 2019. Let's see. Okay, that's the one they took. They did take another guy, okay, in the 7th round. But in 2019, okay, Ed Oliver, pick number 9, defensive tackle. First round, top 9, defense, Ed Oliver. Okay. Then you go to in 2018, they took Harrison Phillips, a defensive tackle, in the 3rd round. All right. 2017, they did not take one. Okay. But in 2016, all right, the first 2 out of the first 3 picks were defensive linemen. Shaq Lawson, pick number 19. Okay. And then they took Washington. Okay. With their 3rd round pick. They took Reggie Ragland, their inside linebacker, in their 2nd round pick. But their 3rd round pick in 2016 was Adolphus Washington. Okay. And then they took Shaq Lawson with their first pick. So, they go, and, you can never have too many good defensive linemen or defensive. You cannot. Okay. So where Shane came from, okay, right. They took defensive linemen / defensive ends, edge rushers, however you want to phrase it, right? Early, where Shane came from, obviously from Buffalo. So what happened this year? Okay, what happened with his first? We took Davidson. I think it was a 5th round pick. I think Davidson was defensive tackle. Okay, but who was our first overall pick? Kayvon, right? So you can never have. Jay Davidson. He was. We had 3 5th round picks. He was our second. We took McFadden, was the first 5th round pick. Then we took Davidson. Then we took McKeithen. Okay, and didn't have a 7th round, but then we took Beavers. Can't wait till that freaking guy gets healthy. Can't wait for him to run it. But I'm just going to say, I'm talking about 6 rounders. I mean, we got like kind of possibly kind of high hopes, reasonably high hopes for Beavers, right? At our inside linebacker. Okay, between him and Akarake, could be a nice duo going on there. Okay, so don't be surprised, right? Because we need, right, a cornerback. It's a deep class. You can get, if you went in the 2nd round with a cornerback, okay, you're not going to, obviously as the rounds go by, the talent's going to start dwindling down a little bit. But I hear, right, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, even 4th round or so, you can get guys that can give you some production. Okay, Giants need interior offensive lineman, most likely center. Okay, you don't got to grab a center in the 1st round either. Even though I keep hearing all these, the Schmitz, the center from Minnesota, but you don't have to grab yourself a center in the 1st round. We can use maybe a wide receiver. We got a ton of wide receivers, but a good wide receiver class. Okay, obviously in the 3rd, 4th round and all, you're not going to get somebody who's going to be able to do everything, right? But you'll get somebody who might be better. Maybe it might be smaller, might be able to get a little bit of separation, may not have unbelievable speed or whatever, but you'll get somebody who'll give you production. Okay, so not saying it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does wind up happening where the Giants wind up grabbing a interior defensive lineman or an edge rusher in the 1st round, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round, right? I'm saying like maybe the 1st round we grab the cornerback, 3rd round we grab the center, 3rd round we grab a defensive lineman, whether it's an edge rusher or an interior defensive lineman. Don't be surprised, because if we start looking, right, you just look at the depth that we have there. I mean, it's not really not impressive. Okay. I mean, if you look, you go the front 4 and then you put a Akarake behind him, that's a nice 5-some. Okay. Azeez Ojulari, you got Kayvon over there, right? You got Sexy Dexy, you got Leonard Williams, and then you got a Akarake behind you. As I said, hopefully Darian Beavers can. Nice thing about him getting injured early, he'll be back early. So he should be back around training camp. Okay. I really high hopes for him. Okay. Really very excited. I mean, it's tough to get excited about a 6th rounder, but he was having a very, very good camp. Okay. I'm Not saying the guy's going to be an all-pro or anything like that, a Hall of Fame or nothing, but he might be a decent addition, very nice addition to the defense. Okay, the problem is that we didn't really get a chance to see him on the field at all. But hopefully this year, knock on wood, he can stay healthy and we get a chance to see what he can do. But I mean, that's a nice, as I said, if you add the Carrick, that's a nice, we got the front four, very good. A Carrick behind him, maybe Beavers in there. Okay, that's not bad. That's pretty good. But if you go behind that, I mean, we got Nunez Roches or Taco, as he likes to be called, in the interior defensive line. That's good. Okay, he's good against the run. Don't expect much from him as far as with the pass, but he brings a good attitude, good quality. Absolutely, I love it. But once again, I said you can never ever have too many edge rushers / deep interior defensive linemen or whatever. I mean, because if you start looking at, like, just say when Leonard Williams or Sexy Dexy, when they're they get a little tired. Okay, they got to wave their hand, they go on the side. Right, somebody comes in and spells them for maybe a series or so, then they come back out. Well, what happens if they get hurt? Right? I mean, there's no waving their hand, and I mean they're gone for unfortunately for games maybe. Right? So then what happens if Nunez Roches comes in, right, and he gets tired? Who's going to take his spot? So you can never, ever have too much. So, I mean, if you start looking at what we got behind, I mean, whoops. Right. I mean, we got behind Azeez Ojulari, we got like Jihad Ward. Okay. I mean, I love Hottie, a fantastic attitude, really great. The guy can, some guys can be on my team anytime. He's one of them. Okay. You love the guy, you love his attitude and all and everything. Absolutely love it. But, in all fairness, okay, he's not a phenomenal player. Okay. All right. Then we got on the other, well, they called the rush position. We got Kayvon, right? But then we got Toman Fox. Okay. Ellerson Smith, right? Toman Fox, okay, he's a body, okay, but when you start comparing them to like what the Eagles had like last year, right? They were just bringing in people off the bench who could just rush the passer and get all kinds of sacks and everything. Obviously it's going to be very, very difficult to match anything that the Eagles did, especially with sacks and all last year. But my point is that the defensive front was really, really good, right? And and if Kayvon has to miss some time, right, and we have to put Toman Fox in there, that's a big step down in talent. Okay, Ellerson Smith, we don't even know what the guy can do. The guy can't even stay on the field, right? I don't even know if this will be his. Yeah, first 2 seasons he hardly played because he kept getting injured, right? So this will be his 3rd season. But don't be surprised. I mean, because some of these guys, don't be surprised if they just they don't want it making the team, right? Because I mean, especially because last year, when Shane and Dable came in, Ellerson Smith came with the team. He's not a Shane or Dable guy, okay? He came with the team, and they don't know what he can do. Why? Because he keeps getting injured, right? And if he's not one of your guys and all he does is keep getting injured, like he's running out of time. If he gets injured again this year, you can pretty much just kiss that guy goodbye. I mean, your best ability is your availability. If you're not available, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how nice you are, or what your talent level is or whatever. If you can't get on the field, you're pretty much useless. Okay. So with the edge rushers, we do not have, good quality depth there. Okay. I said, then you got, Sexy Dexy and Leonard Williams. All right. Now Leonard Williams is coming back. Hopefully his neck is going to be, from what I was hearing like last year, as his neck, the injury. Okay. I kept hearing it was just going to require like all the off season for it to get better. Hopefully that's the case. Okay. And you got Sexy Dexy, right? But behind him, okay, we got Nunez Roches. All right. He's very good at stopping the run. Okay, good quality depth there. Okay, and then we got DJ Davidson, who's coming back from an injury. Hopefully he'll be okay. We also have Ryder Anderson, okay, who performed admirably last year. Didn't do too bad. Okay, then we have Vernon Butler too. Okay, I mean, you without question, you can certainly, add another body in there without question. Okay. And especially because you like to, Wink likes the positionless defense, right? So it doesn't necessarily always have to have like two interior defensive linemen and two edge rushers. You might have maybe one edge rusher and you might have three defensive linemen or something. I mean, he tries to mix it up as much as he can. Okay. But without question, we can certainly use some interior defensive line depth too, as well. All right. The thing is that when you go, I mean, there are guys out there too. I mean, as far as the free agents, there are certainly some free agents out there, okay, who the Giants could sign, okay. But the problem is okay, they're going to be expensive. I mean, like as far as I know, none of these guys are signed, like Jadeveon Clowney, Ngakoue, okay. But these guys, the good thing about with these guys is you know what they can do on the field. They've made it to the NFL, and you know what you're going to get with them for the most part. Okay. Problem is, these guys are just torch holders. If you bring them in, right, they're just going to be here, but they're also going to be expensive too. They've earned the right to make the money and all that stuff and everything, but they're going to be expensive. Now, according to PFF, that what they have here in Ngakoue would sign a 2-year, $12.5 million deal with somebody. So basically, Pro Football Focus. That's all I'm going by here, right? They have him signing a 2-year, $25 million deal. Okay. So basically $12.5 million a year. If you were to sign an edge rusher in the first round at pick 25, it might cost you $2.5 million a year. So you're going to pay Ngakoue $12.5 million, or you can sign somebody brand, fresh, right? Young. What's Ngakoue? Oh, he's only 28. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But you can bring somebody in who's maybe 22 or 23, right, for $2.5 million, and you can have his contract under your control if you got him in the first round for 5 years. All right. So, I mean, I said this. Leonard Floyd is out there. They got him at $8 million a year. Melvin Ingram, okay, another good, decent pass rusher, but he's going to be 34. He's at $4 million. Justin Houston, he's $4 million according to PFF. This is what they projected to make. Okay. Frank Clark, $6.5 million. Kyle Van Noy, and some of these are defensive linemen, interior. Some are edge. Matt Ioannidis. They got him at like $6.5 million a year. Poona Ford. They got him at $7.5 million. Of course, then there was A'Shawn Robinson, who we brought in. I mean, who just kind of, I guess, I'm not sure exactly what happened to him. I mean, according to PFF, I mean, they projecting him to make like $3 million. So I'm not exactly sure. I mean, if he thought he was worth 6 or 7, and the Giants only wanted to offer him 1, I'm not exactly sure what exactly happened there. But if we had brought A'Shawn Robinson in, once again, he would be good with the run. He wouldn't be phenomenal with the pass, but it's just to have somebody in there who can do a good job and not get blown away by the blocks, right? So, I mean, there's guys out there without question. And don't be surprised if the Giants, especially after the draft is over, doesn't bring in another veteran. Okay, maybe somebody, on the cheap, right? For $1 million or $2 million. Don't be surprised if they don't want to do it. Carlos Dunlap's out there, Bud Dupree. I mean, they got him averaging. I mean, he's only 30, right? He didn't have the past few years. He hasn't really had a phenomenal year, but check this crap out. Shaq Lawson's out there. They got him to make $2.25 million. Okay. Akeem Hicks, he big freaking dude, the interior defensive line, who was with the Bears for a long time. Robert Quinn's out there. I mean, there's a ton of guys out there. Okay. That the Giants, can target in free agency, okay? But, I mean, obviously there's also guys, in the draft. I said, don't be surprised if they don't grab somebody. Now, obviously some of these guys ain't going to be there, like Jalen Carter, okay, Will Anderson, some of these guys, like maybe Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech. Let's see. And then you got, I mean, probably not, but I'm saying, but like Cansey, Elijah Cansey from Pittsburgh, he's supposed to be, a real a real, really good, really good. Vanessa from Iowa. So, I mean, according to Pro Football, Brazil from Clemson, the interior defensive lineman, right? I mean, if the Giants were to fall in love with one of these guys, Nolan Smith, right, the edge from Georgia, okay, 4.39 speed. He's an edge rusher, runs under a 4.40, an edge rusher. I mean, he's only 238 pounds, okay, it says here. It says, according to PFF, Smith is a modern, undersized edge rusher at only 238 pounds, so that's a little on the weak side, okay? Can be a three-down player. In fact, he earned a 90-plus run defense grade over the past 2 seasons. Very impressive. He needs more power elements to his pass rushing toolbox, but he's a high-end athlete who can win with speed. Okay, so, I mean, I said, PFF has him at the 22nd ranked overall player. Myles Murphy from Clemson. He's the 23rd overall graded player. Okay, he's an edge rusher, I said, from Clemson. Okay, what they got here, right? Murphy is too freaky to pass up. 6'5", 275 pounds is this year's version of Trayvon Walker. Okay, Murphy could stand to add some pass rushing moves, but he still racked up 76 pressures over the past 2 seasons. 76, right? And just think if he was to improve, right? Will McDonald, according to PFF once again, all right, he's the edge rusher from Iowa State, but he's the 25th ranked overall player. Where the Giants picking at? 25. Okay. Yeah, let's see. McDonald will be one of the more interesting defensive line prospects in the class because his tape is almost all at a position that won't play in the NFL. So, right now, they said he was frequently a 4 or 5 technique in Iowa State's defense at 236 pounds. That's not happening. Okay, so that's he's going to be. That'll be interesting. Okay, you got Azuma from K-State. So now you're going to start maybe getting guys maybe during the second round. Mazi Smith from Michigan. Okay, big nose tackle, right? And you got Azeez's brother, B.J. Ojulari. He's projected maybe late first round, maybe early second round. So I'm not sure if he'd make it to the Giants at in their second round pick. But I mean, I'll tell you what, if he was there, Giants might want to pick him up, right? I mean, there's a bunch of guys. I mean, I counted I know it was 20 in the top PFF, according to the top 92 guys, according to PFF, they got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 25, according to PFF. Okay, Pro Football Focus, right? 25 of their top 92 players in this draft, according to PFF. You go to different people, I mean, they got, different grades and all that and everything, but 25 of the top 92 are either interior defensive linemen or edge rushers, right? Which the top 92 will fit exactly in the Giants' top 3 draft picks, okay? Without question, top 3. I know one of the guys in here, I mean, they're all different. I mean, where's my man at here? All right, okay, Ika from Baylor. Okay, Pro Football Network has him as the number 3 overall interior defensive lineman. Big dude, right? Has lots of power. Okay, might be too hard to pass up somebody like him. All right, I mean, let's see, edge rushers here. This is from Draft Tech. They got Anderson, then they got Wilson, they got Vanessa, Nolan Smith, Myles Murphy, McDonald at number 24, Azuma at number 32. Then they got Foskey in here at number 40, and Derek Hall and Ojulari they got here at number 54. Pro Football Focus had Ojulari in the 30s. You know what I mean? So they're all different. They're all different, okay? But according to Draft Tech here, I mean, these are edge rushers, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They got 6 guys in the top 24, okay, as far as edge rushers. All right. And they got here another Draft top edge rushers here from USA Today. They got Will Anderson's number 1. He's a top 10 pick. Tyree Wilson, he's a top 10 pick. Then they got Vaness, who's a late first rounder. Because according to USA Today, these are edge rushers. Nolan Smith from Georgia. Okay, they got him a late first round, right around the Giants. Miles Murphy from Clemson, an early second round, right? McDonald, okay, they got him a late second round. Ojulari, they got him in second round. All right, so it's right around where the Giants wind up drafting in the second round. You got Azuma from K-State. You got him maybe like a second or third round. So it's all, there's a ton of guys there. So, I mean, if you start thinking about where Shane, I mean, obviously, Shane has to be his own GM, okay? But if you start looking at, what are some winning teams out there? Buffalo Bills, okay? One, all right? Where did Shane come from? Buffalo, okay? What did Buffalo do a lot? They took a lot of defensive linemen, defensive ends, defensive tackles were early in the first 3 rounds. They took, as I said, from 2016 to 2021. There's those 6 drafts right there. Okay. They took 7 defensive linemen in the first 3 rounds. So they averaged in the first 3 rounds. Okay. Those 6 drafts taking a little bit more than 1 defensive lineman in those first 3 rounds on every draft. So, if Shane's going to be a little bit of a copycat or whatever, just to try to get some success, right? I mean, it's hard to beat that. As I said, look at what the Philadelphia Eagles were able to do. I mean, the Eagles, their offense, their lines, offensive and defensive lines, freaking phenomenal. Their coach, their offensive line coach for the Eagles, is it Jeff Stoutland? Good coach. But I mean, they have like 2 Hall of Famers, right? With Lane Johnson and Kelsey. I mean, unbelievable, right? And the other guys they bring in do a phenomenal job. Their offensive line is phenomenal, okay? And then their defensive line is phenomenal too. But you also have to look at it too, is that, what we couldn't do. I mean, you have to beat the teams in your division, right? And we couldn't stop the run. I mean, you have to do something, right? I mean, it's nice to get one thing that might be to get maybe, we also need cornerbacks to slow down their wide receivers as well, too. But I mean, we can maybe try to get a nice wide receiver, maybe to gain some more yards and score some more points and all. But you have to stop the Eagles. What could we do? We couldn't stop the run. I mean, they were just running at will against us. It was unbelievable. You gotta learn to stop the run. Karake will certainly help, helping up the middle at all. Okay, but we need, depth there, because we don't know what we're doing with Leonard Williams. But we got Terrence. We had a lot of success with the NASCAR package. Yeah. But we got to be able to stop the run. There's nothing more degrading or embarrassing or whatever than just a team you just run up and down the field on. You can't stop them, right? And then the thing is like, we have Leonard Williams. He's making $32 million this year. We don't know what we're going to wind up doing with him in the long run. We're going to try to extend him, maybe add another couple of years onto his contract, keep him around for another couple of years. I mean, we got to do something. I said, because what we were putting on the field last year with Dexter Lawrence and was not good enough to stop the run. I mean, we did a decent job trying to rush the passer and all and everything, but as I said, if Azeez gets injured, Kayvon gets injured, or one of them gets tired or something, whatever, and they have to come out, we're going from up here, talent level, to down there, right? We're taking a big step backwards. I said, look what the Eagles were able to do. They were bringing guys in off the bench. I mean, they bringing people in off the crowd who can rush the crowd. It was freaking crazy, right? So if you want, you want a blueprint to, some success. I mean, the Eagles had like 4 good things. Obviously, the quarterback is huge, but I'm not even including the quarterback. Okay, you got to have a quarterback. If you got a mediocre quarterback, you good luck, God bless. The Eagles had 4 things, right? And it's tough to get this. They had the offensive line, they had the defensive line. Okay, That's tough. A lot of that is really if you got really, really good coaching, it really helps with the offensive line. All right. We have very good deep, we got the Godfather Patterson there, the defensive line coach. We got that. But they had the offensive line, they had the defensive line, but they had two more things. They had two cornerbacks and they had two wide receivers. And then you throw Goddard in there too. But I mean, you look at some of these, look at some of the teams that can just, wing the ball all over the field. They had two, and also the Eagles were very lucky too. They were healthy last year. They were the fourth least injured team as far as games missed by their guys, right? So they were healthy, right? Unlike us, who we kept, Sterling Shepard would run 10 yards, boom, blow his ACL out. He's out for the season, right? But they had two phenomenal wide receivers, Smith and Brown, boom, right? We can't compare to that. Right, they had two phenomenal cornerbacks. Right, Bradbury, who we should have if Gettleman didn't screw up the cap. It is what it is, right? But they had Slay and Gettleman. You're right, Slay and Bradbury, two very good cornerbacks. I'm not saying shut down, but very, very good cornerbacks. Okay, and I said their offensive line, defensive line. Right, so don't be surprised if somewhere in the first three picks that the Giants don't take an edge rusher or a defensive lineman, right? Because what we got, the front four is good, but we can use some depth. If one of those front four gets hurt, our talent level is we're taking a nice step backwards. And I said, and like with Leonard Williams, what are we going to do with him? Is he going to be around much longer? We wound up losing him. Okay, we got Nunez Roaches in there, but as I said, he's not much as far as the pass game. So you can never, ever have too many guys on the defensive line, whether it's interior defensive line or the edge rusher. So don't be surprised in the first 3 or 4 picks, right? The Giants don't take one. But with 10 picks, I would be shocked. I mean, pretty damn surprised if the Giants don't take a defensive lineman and an edge rusher with the 10 picks. But don't be surprised if one of them winds up being early. Well, guys, it's been 37 minutes. Anybody spent? Once again, Terrence, thank you. Appreciate your comment, brother. Thank you. Anybody spent any time watching me? Thank you. If anybody spends any time at all watching and replay this, once again, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. All the support I can get, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.